fun to speak into the microphone.
You do.
I get too relaxed over here.
Or
You know,
too fired
it's
up.
too laxed over here. You know.
He's a natural.
One of the two. Yeah. My mom's here.
Hey,
What's up, Mom?
Hey, Mom.
What's up?
Are you excited to be on here?
This is like the best place on the planet.
Hey,
right
I'm
here.
gonna need you to do something.
Do tell.
Just pull that microphone a little closer to your face and try
That's his
speaking
go-to.
right into it.
If I
That's his
can
go-to.
do it,
Usually,
you can do it.
Usually I'm loud enough it doesn't matter where the
Hey.
microphone is.
Hey.
Hey, does he come
True.
back, he comes
It's
back
about-
naturally, right?
True.
It's about how it picks it up, though. You know what I'm
You
saying?
should hear her
Oh.
whistle. It's ridiculous.
Oh, it is ridiculous.
Yeah, see?
I might have to do
Did
it
you hear the
end.
difference there?
Yes.
See?
I feel like I'm on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
You know, like the Christmas
See, that's why I
show.
got this little guy down here. It's like, it lets me know I'm within range. You know what I'm saying?
But is that really why?
The little beard down there. Don't say that, Mom.
It's like your antenna.
Don't say that, Mom. Weird mom jokes. All right, Mick, introduce us.
Yeah, so
Please
been
do.
a long time coming. My mom's been listening, supporting us, taking pictures, sharing
Appreciate
all
it.
of our stuff.
Mom is like your biggest fan.
Are you pedal causing?
I am not pedal causing. I'm supporting pedal cause.
We're
All
gonna
right, fair
That
enough.
works.
We're gonna
Sure.
I
pedal
used to
cause
staff
somehow.
pedal cause,
Well, I was
Really?
just gonna say,
but I know we
my
interrupted
mom's
you.
gonna be walking it, so I'm looking for other participants for that. Yeah, that was like a new development. She's feeling gung ho enough, so we weren't sure. So, anyways, yeah.
God, she's gonna
Spreading
raise
the
a
word here.
shitload of money.
Knock on wood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think she will.
Yeah.
Well, you also signed us up for a 40-mile bike ride.
No.
No, that's all.
Longer.
Mine.
Oh, longer?
Mine is 40 minimum, but
Right.
we'll see. I had triple digits in mind, but the Fay golf tournament's starting to become a little more real to me
Body
as
butter.
we get closer.
I
Well,
haven't.
also my buddy's coming down to join us from Chicago, so that throws a little bit of extra incentive in the mix to dabble with the booze. And wait, is it gonna be October yet? No, it'll be the last weekend.
What's that?
What the date is this weekend? It won't be October yet, though.
No.
That shows you
speaking in
where.
full sentences.
Yeah, well, I was trying to figure out just what the date would be
We
this
normally
weekend since
don't.
we're doing
I
Sober
like that about you
October.
guys.
You
We
know
just
what I'm
pick it
saying?
up.
I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Sober
I like it a lot.
October's coming.
Uh-huh.
So part of the reason we brought you on
Yep.
is stuff like Pedal the Cause.
Yep.
You were with Children's Hospital,
Yes, I was.
Mercy Hospital,
Yes, I was.
American Lung Association,
That I was too.
consulting for American Lung Association,
25 years.
which is kind of the end goal. I think that's going to be in
Yeah.
our future at some point. Maybe if we could pick up a little consulting. And
Fundraiser consultation was
yeah.
So you're
What I
saying we
said
have
from
an
the get.
in-house consultant.
Ooh.
boom.
You know?
Access.
Why
right
have you
there.
not been showing up to any of the meetings?
I wasn't asked yet.
She needs to be on the group
This
email.
is like
She needs to be on
I've
the email.
advised a lot, as you can tell.
She needs to be on the company-wide email, and we
That's
need
true.
she needs to be
get
a
her on the
regular
newsletter
show.
for sure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pedal the Cause was collaboration with Children's early on when it was just a
I did not know
concept.
that.
Yeah, we used
That's
to do
pretty cool,
events for the
actually.
kids. So I was in
Yeah.
community education. We did events for the kids where they did the little kid rodeo area
Okay.
like the day before.
I
and the
dig
fun-
that.
Yeah, to make it
I
a
like
family
that.
event.
So do you know like the founders and stuff?
I remember their names. I worked with
Okay.
them I think, was it 10, 12 years ago? Something
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
They seem like great people. It seems
Oh.
like a really awesome
Anybody that's
organization.
involved in community, anything, advocacy, outreach,
Yeah.
anything like that, are great people.
True.
I don't.
Others
There,
that don't.
there are some people out there who get into it for the wrong reason. I think.
There are
They
some
don't
false.
last.
And they
I call them
can't-
false
yeah, and they don't
prophets.
last. You're
but
right.
And they're
right.
usually
Yeah.
higher up. They're not
Yeah.
frontline.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they're
That's a good point.
visionary
True.
people. The real boots on the ground people are the
True.
best on the planet. Yeah.
I don't
true.
think I've ever misconstrued this. I think the more charity work I do, the more houses I'm going to sell. Throwing that out there. So call it
Oh.
right reason, wrong reason. I think it's
Yeah.
the right thing to do, and I
But-
think I'm going to make a boatload of money.
Law of
You know-
attraction.
Well, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
I
absolutely,
mean,
man.
you're putting out good things. Man.
It
People wanna work
reverberates,
with
you know?
people like that.
But I think where it would be an issue is if I was acting like I wasn't trying to
When you were inauthentic.
make these connections and, raise money for a charity.
Well,
and
again, what was one of the first ways we put the concept was fundraising or networking via fundraising. You know,
Mhm.
so yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think there was any.
it's a reason to get
Any
together.
hiding
It
that?
is a lot better when you speak closer
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
the microphone.
I sound like sultry. You
tell
know
you.
what I'm saying? Told you. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't
Face
forget
for
we're all
radio,
small
voice for
business
radio.
owners
What's
too.
up?
You know what I mean? So you have to be connecting with your community at some point or somehow.
Absolutely.
So
Authentically.
So, Children's
Yes.
Hospital, tell us about Children's. Tell everybody about Children's
Oh,
quickly.
yeah. So Children's.
And
so
then doing American Lung at the
Yep.
same time, if
Yep.
I'm not mistaken.
Yep. So community education, I started in advocacy and outreach, working in places like Washington Park, Illinois, and Wellston and Jennings, and the areas that people are just trying really hard to do the best they can do. So we put together programs. We collaborated with the churches and where everybody kind of resided, and to give them information they needed to raise their kids well and stay healthy and happy and live their best quality
Yeah.
life they could with no judgment.
Yeah.
You know, meet you where you are. And that was in advocacy and outreach. Went to the marketing department, community education, where we had a little more funds, a little more kind of get out there in the community for the right reasons for marketing spin, which you guys are all too familiar with.
Yeah.
And got way involved in child passenger safety along with them, and helmet safety, and home safety, and was a national instructor to train the trainers and keep kids safe in cars and keep them out of hot cars and keep them buckled up safely so they didn't get hurt in a crash, and transfer that to Mercy Hospital. Took a lot of what Children's taught me and transferred it to Mercy Hospital for a little while. But in between there, I was going to areas in Podunk, Missouri, where there was like 65% smoking rates. You know, they were just like, it was 1965 everywhere you looked. And
Nothing better to do. Everybody's smoking.
that's right, sitting on everybody else's porch, you know. Yep. And taking the dog out every night, and yep, for sure. So the more positive energy breeds positive energy, and it kind of made me who I am, and passed it along to my kids, man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's the mantra around here.
Yeah,
Must have
you
picked
just-
it up from somewhere.
absolutely. And you just have to demonstrate who you are and be authentic, and you know, surround myself. I was fortunate enough to have some of the best girlfriends in the world in Springfield, Missouri, who I still have now,
Yeah.
who are kind of doing the same thing, just
Yeah.
being the best people they can be, and
Birds of a feather, you know.
that's it,
Yes.
man. And being genuine, and
By the way, you don't know, but I'm working on a patent for a helmet hat. So that's what you saw me wearing that day when I was
Is that
riding the
what it
bike.
is?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
There was a little helmet
Was
inside the
it?
hat, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Yeah. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like the opposite of the Brockabrella, you know?
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just throwing that out there, you know. Mom's been giving me trouble for not wearing a helmet.
You've been
so.
throwing a lot at me for years, Cor. So.
Yeah, I dig. Yeah. This is what do we say? Third mom, fourth mom, whatever in the lineup goes.
You know,
You
it
know,
doesn't matter, Mom.
I got mom
Don't matter.
nonetheless. Yeah.
Yeah.
This was like where I would go when I would be escaping Tommy D. I'd be like, I'm just gonna head over to the classics for a little while, soak up some normalcy.
Always
you know what I'm
appreciated
saying?
your normalcy. That's what we were. We're normal. That's what it was. Yeah. Always appreciated the antics. It was an acquired taste. But
Yeah, well,
yeah.
for surely.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
again. Yeah, that's how I know my birds of a feather. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's what makes you so special, though.
What'd you say last week? Beautiful. That's
Beautiful.
what Cuzzy called me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Aw, did
Yeah.
you tear up?
A little bit. I did. Yeah,
On
I
the way
remember
home.
the exact
On the
moment.
way home, he definitely
38 minute, 3rd second. That's where it was in the podcast, in case anybody wants to backtrack.
He is a crier, so it
Yeah.
probably did happen.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. Yeah, I especially liked in the last episode, Mick's description to me was I should have written it down, where it was kind of, I think I looked the other way in a lot of things, provided some direction, but maybe looked the other way. on some things.
We
You
were
know,
live.
They make for better stories that way.
Well, I think so. Here's
Taught him how to drink Budweiser.
Yep. Drinking was never an issue. Anything
Drinking
like that.
responsibly.
Yeah, I think
Yep.
like as long as, because I got my first job when I was 14 years old.
Yep.
So never had a curfew, really, like to speak of. As soon as I got a car, curfew went out the window because I got out of work at 11. So as long as my grades were up and I had money in my pocket, I don't think.
And you came home with keys in your hand, sober.
Yeah, nobody really
Car
told
in one
me
piece.
anything.
Yep.
Pretty much, yeah. I
Yep.
was just left to my own devices for some extent from ages like 16 to 28. I just figured it out, you know.
But there was always a lot of honest conversation, too.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
It's a solid approach. I came from the exact opposite household, and look at me.
Well,
Sitting at the
it's
same
true.
table, so
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
you know.
That's true.
End result maybe is the same either way.
Mm-hmm. Just a couple more wind sprints over here.
But, you know, so everything that I was talked about doing, you guys, it took me until I was in my 50s, really, to own what I could do for an organization or, you know, be authentic and contribute to the community, and where I was going to be the best one in a certain situation, where you guys are joining forces and you're like, this is what we want to do. This is how we're going to do it. We're going to do it better together and influence how people think and feel. And
I think social media allows us to connect with a lot more people on a
I
deeper
agree.
level too. So that's one of those things. Like I bash social media a lot, but there's a lot of good things that it brings to it. It allows us to reach out
If
to a
you-
lot
It's
of
a
people.
tool.
If used correctly.
If used correctly, right?
That's a tool. You can
It
beat
really
somebody
is.
to death with a hammer, or you can build a house.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I will use that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trademark
Very-
that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Bumper sticker.
That was good.
I'm going to notate that one.
Yeah.
in your
T-shirt
notebook.
idea.
And watch, it's just gonna be scribbles. He doesn't actually
I
write.
know.
anything
I tried.
down.
He left his notes at my house, and I gave them back to him the other day. I'm like, I couldn't read.
Yeah.
They're notes,
Anyways.
man. Like, it's just,
They're notes, man.
they're just a
See,
reminder.
that one is literally a scribble. Right
No,
there.
I just did that just
Can
on
you
purpose.
can you read your own notes though? I have trouble
Yeah.
sometimes. Okay.
Yeah,
I
I can
can't.
read my own notes.
Good.
And like, so I'll just put like a word, and like I'll bullet everything, and that's why you don't understand it. I
And
just
that's
make
kind of
a
how
list.
that's how we speak. That's why you were saying.
And then I
finish.
just remember our conversation. I can go from there. That's how I make notes.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Didn't get me
Yeah.
very far in school, but I understood a lot, so.
So when I pre-interviewed Corey Austin, she was singing a similar song to kind of where you were headed with that. Is she was saying like so many people volunteer for these jobs that there needs to be more high-paying jobs for people who work in community outreach, fundraising, things like that, because you want to make sure that you have the best of the best doing what they do. It's almost like kind of an underserved area, and probably something that a lot of people don't think about going into.
Kind of like most community service jobs.
Yeah.
Teachers,
Yeah.
nurses,
Any of
the
them,
whole
sure.
gamut. Yeah.
But you go to college, you might say that you want to be a nurse. You don't say that you want to be the community outreach
That's true.
director at. It would take a
Right.
special 18-year-old to have that dream, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like going into college. It's something that people learn like so much later.
Opportunity.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, either you have to receive it, like you saw,
Mm-hmm.
with anything for a friend, or you have to give it, like we've seen
Mm-hmm.
with our work with Hero Network and coming up with Buddy Fund, other places like that. You didn't see it till you were 50. I was just lucky enough to see it in my 20s.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I say all the time, but also adversity is opportunity, so got dealt a few hands in the past couple years on my end, and I just figured like, well, might as well make the best of it, saw that we could reach out to the right people and network accordingly, and there was a whole bunch of people that were willing to give back, so might as well capitalize that type of thing.
Yeah, I think we found out there's a lot of people who are sitting on their butt, who wanted to give.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
for
and
sure.
wanted
Yeah,
to get
not in a bad
involved,
way, sitting on their butt,
so
but
it's
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Take somebody to take some initiative for other people to get involved. And I
Especially
think
our age group.
that's my favorite thing is seeing how many people fell in suit. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? When we started putting things out, that's been
Well,
the
again,
coolest
it's
thing.
like the double-edged sword of social media. Yeah, if you manipulate it the right way, then you can get people behind a really good cause rather than
Yeah.
just using it as a divisive tactic.
We do have a whole lot of followers that I've never met, and probably you guys haven't either. Maybe one out of the three of us have, but I can't wait to meet them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe that they're listening. We had listeners, like I think I talked about on one show, like Texas, Tennessee. I don't
Where'd
know
it come
how.
from?
Ooh, social media
Just,
outreach. Yeah,
Like
I mean,
Facebook?
it's
Wow.
Networking
definitely-
via fundraising. What's
the,
up?
The density is certainly in St.
do.
Louis, but
Obviously.
it's more of like maybe it's a friend of a friend or somebody shares our video. Steve Bowman, Chris Nerez, Jim Stout, a lot of those guys are always sharing and watching.
Yeah.
So it seems like we pick up a couple new followers every week. I swear. I don't know if you guys monitor it, but I try to keep my thumb on it, on the pulse of this whole thing. Who's
I
listening?
try to keep it up on YouTube too, just because I think that's people will click stuff and then start just mindlessly watch it, and then if we say something that triggers somebody, they'll go to our page and keep watching, and that drives them towards our social media.
The good thing about YouTube is like that's archived. That's not going to go anywhere. Video's nice. I don't know how we could transition to video on Spotify. I don't know why we would have to or why they're moving in that direction. One thing that we could do better is maybe break down just some clips, shorter things that we could share so people don't have to listen to the whole
I would
hour.
like to do that. Yeah, that would definitely be something to do. Yeah, just like little previews, and then the things that are more specific to whatever causes we're doing. Yeah, just show like a little tidbit of that.
Why do you think that people are following you? I have an idea, but why do you think?
So, you know what? I could pull up a really specific example, but we had a couple new likes of our page where I had no like mutual friends with these people, but they seem to be kind of in our demographic. So I think that people are just kind of aching for something like this where they can go out and drink and maybe raise some money too, and have been aching for it. We've been going over that since we started the company.
Right.
So I think, I mean, heck, if I was about to go to a party and it was for name your favorite cause, sure, I'd follow the guys throwing it.
But you know what? I think you guys have a air of positivity that the world is craving.
Yeah.
There's an appetite for empower yourself to do good deeds. To everybody's got the same amount of minutes in a day. It's all
Yeah.
in how you use them. It's you choose your attitude.
Yep.
You speak to yourself like you speak to somebody else. You can talk yourself up or talk yourself down.
Your words create your reality.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we talk about a little bit of
100%.
everything, right? You know,
do.
so like we also talk about having a lot of fun, you know, and I think people are drawn to that too.
So-
Fundraising is fun.
Fun.
Straight up.
It can be. So I started with Ameren a year ago, and the last couple jobs were not really in my Kelly zone.
Mm-hmm.
And it was not for profit. It just I
Yeah.
couldn't be me authentically
Yeah.
100%. So found this job in a utility that is out of not for profit. It's in training and quality and all these kinds of things, transferable skills. All of a sudden, I found myself in an area that I can influence how the advisors treat customers who can't pay their bills. I'm working with energy assistants in my org that are working with community organizations that have funds to help these people who are trying their hardest, but they can't pay their bill, or they're struggling to pay their bill, or they can't pay their total bill, or they just they're worried about all the food in their freezer going out during an outage, and just to kind of develop the empathy muscle in the advisors for Ameren. It exists, but to give them maybe the words, or that Ameren's an amazing organization. When the power goes out, they're all over it. But they deal with the same people calling all the time that struggle. Just like when I was at Children's, just like at Mercy.
I think
So-
that's a big deal. I think that's a big deal too, because
It's a huge deal.
People just don't want to call, you know, and they don't want to reach out, and they'll
Right.
let things just keep falling by the wayside until it's way too late.
Yep.
And then when you're dealing with that person, they're ready to just throw the damn bill out the window and just
Yep.
let you cut it off. They don't really care, you know, like.
Somebody
can't be.
else's
So-
name. They'll do,
yeah, I mean,
That's right.
customer service is still very important. I think, like, you look at Chick-fil-A, there's no, like, no wonder they are thriving. You know what I mean? They're just
Yep.
taking extra steps, you know, like that everybody
It's
else
almost
could be
baffling that everyone else hasn't picked up on that.
taking. Yeah.
So we focus on
Like-
customer experience.
Is that what
rather
you were
than
hired for, by
customer
the way? I'm
service.
sorry, I didn't mean
It
to cut you off.
is.
That's
You
what
didn't
you're-
cut me off at all.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very
so
cool.
I have the most amazing team at Ameren, I think. But yeah, we influence how the advisors treat the customers, and it's about the customer experience, not just the service. But put yourself in their shoes, meet them where they are, just like I did in Washington Park when I was at Children's. So it's similar population, and it's neat how you can influence anywhere you go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a utility.
Just by
It's
your
not a
tone of
hospital.
voice, almost. Is that what are you guys working on a script and stuff?
We are.
Kind of.
I mean, there's words that we actually feed to the advisors that they can choose to use.
Yeah. And it's all about how you deliver it too. Like,
Yeah.
it really is.
Yeah.
You've got a script for the script. Words
Yeah.
that we feed to the
Yeah.
advisors that they can choose to use.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So
It's
I
so
have said
good.
to Mick more than once, and he brought it back to me a number of years ago. Mom, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. He was listening.
Yeah.
I use it
Picked
in a
up on
different
that.
context than she taught me to, but
Oh, hey.
transferable skills. you know.
Transferable skills.
universal.
That's right. Yeah.
So
But yeah,
some-
that positivity, I'm sorry, but the positivity that you guys bring, and the spin and the perspective and the attitude is what people have an appetite for. And it influences them to think a little bit differently. So that's why I'm your biggest fan.
That's
I
the
do
hope, and
think-
very much
So
appreciated.
customer service, I think, ultimately is going to come back. So it wasn't that long ago where companies stopped investing in customer service and they started switching to reward programs. They realized that it was easier to give you kickbacks than it is to give you a quality product and high customer service.
Well, they think that's what people want.
It's cheaper, and I guess they thought that people wanted free stuff. I mean, how often did you call a 1-800 number and you had trouble understanding the person on the other end of the line? Good, bad, or ugly,
Yeah.
it just is what it
I
is.
dig what
It's
you're saying.
cheaper, no doubt,
Right.
right? So now I think that, like, as a Zillow contractor, their whole thing is customer service. I mean, it's for a website to drill us and train us as hard as we are to run their contracts. I think that our generation is going to move towards personal quality service, and they will pay more to get it rather than getting an inferior product and bad customer service and getting a free whatever on the back end is not going to cut it with people like us.
It works in some areas. Like, I'm sure it works for the credit card companies and stuff. But, And not everybody could be on a roofing.
I
I mean,
know.
insurance is like, you can see that. Everybody thought it was going to swing towards fully automation, and then now it's basically swinging back because people are just sick of dealing with
really?
robots all the time.
Yeah,
I think so. It's big for independent
like,
agents.
So it's tough as an agent to even deal with the companies that we're brokering through sometimes, especially some of these smaller regional companies.
Exactly.
Like, they want to tie your hands so much, like, so you can only do so much, you know, and like these people don't have time, and that the reason why they have an agent is because they want their agent to make calls on their behalf. And these companies are, you know, they're thinking a step ahead, you know, because they want to move everybody over to just go to our website. We'll cut out the 14% commission and go to our website. And like, if I had a client one time call one of our companies, I won't say which, but they called, and the rep on the phone that they called the one that tried to move them over to like their direct. And so that would just take them out of my book of business, and they would be dealing with them, and they would have never known different. But like, had they not told me that, you know, I would have had no idea. So
They would have known when they needed your help.
yeah, they make it very, very
I've had people
difficult
do-
for us to make changes on behalf of our, like, it's just getting more difficult. But I still can't stress the importance. Like, we have to do a good job, because that's why Zillow trains you so hard, because a 4-star review is so much different than 5-star review. You know, like, and it comes down to one disgruntled customer, you know, just saying like, who probably had an all in all decent experience, and then one thing fell off and they were never going to come back. You
And
know,
they tell how many people.
how many
Right.
people.
Right.
Word
And
of
then
mouth
they
is
know
the key.
they're going to kick you right in the shin by putting it all over Zillow, so other people that they don't know can see it too. You know what I mean?
And we're all over that.
Yeah.
Amrit, we see that. And we're a monopoly.
Yeah.
So, you know, so
Thank you.
It's
Thanks.
interesting. We are.
So now
Yeah.
it's good to get some transparency
Especially
there. I
in
appreciate
Missouri.
that.
Transparency all day
Especially in
long.
Missouri, right?
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
100%.
I wasn't even
Reason
going to
for
mention that because I didn't want to
But-
ruffle feathers, but I was going to say
Because
it
you
is
don't
kind of.
ruffle any feathers.
Well, you
Corey
know,
Donovan.
I just.
There's
That's
I was
what we
gonna,
try to
I was gonna
avoid
leave
is
you alone
ruffling
today.
feathers.
You know what I'm saying?
That-
But it
that's
is,
the
it
same as
is.
saying no offense, but he's completely going to.
But I'm coming in
offend
with
you.
a heavy backhand.
I mean no disrespect. However,
If they didn't have a monopoly, we'd have power from all different companies going all over
Right,
the city.
yeah,
That's the
exactly.
only way to have a major
but there's
city.
different ways people are getting energy, and there's
Yeah.
co-ops and there's things like that. But we treat people as if we're not a monopoly.
Right.
Yeah.
And
That's what I was gonna. Yeah.
That's the
Exactly.
goal. That's what we realize, that maybe not forever. Maybe the world changes, right?
Yeah.
We've seen that
True.
this
Well,
year.
Yeah.
So we don't behave like
Especially
we're a
with
monopoly.
renewable energy on the way.
That's right.
Yeah, you know,
Oh,
it's coming
yeah.
from a lot of different places.
right.
But yeah, that
Yep.
is because I was going to say I've actually had in both of my realms that I'm in currently in personal training, I've had people drop their gyms and just say I would just rather deal with you than these random trainers who they sign me up with every so often, and just the whole gym experience in a nutshell not being as personable, and they can come over to my gym, you know, they're more incentivized to just come join me for a workout, and they know that I actually care about their results, so I'm going to push them, they're going to push themselves. And then in the insurance realm, I've had people literally, like Cuzzy was just saying, we won't name the specific company, but I'm sure it was the same one, leave their direct contract and policy and come over to me, even if maybe I couldn't get them the same rate, because they knew that they could deal with me directly and I could get everything expedited for them if they ever
And
had an
that's
issue.
worth something.
So
That's
right.
that's worth a lot.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
Time
I had
and
one
money.
guy who just trying to cancel his policy after I'd already written him took him an hour and a half, and he was like, well, I'm going to be with you from now on because that was miserable. And I just, you know, I had explained to him I can do that for you too, you know, but he thought he would get some type of you know, he would like the canceling process, telling somebody to put it where the sun
Stick it.
don't shine. Yeah. And then I was like, no, you're just going to be dealing with robots for, you know, and these little retention people who are just going to try to keep your business for, you know, about an hour.
I
And
couldn't
sure
cancel
enough-
my gym because the general manager wasn't there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it
you
took
know
me-
that one?
They're $250 in, and I'm like, well,
Again,
you're about to go to cancellation.
I'll
No.
try to avoid any slander, but yeah, during all of this, I tried to cancel one of my gym memberships, and they told me I had to come in to do it. But
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, well,
Like, well,
all
you're
of this
not
stuff
open.
going
I
on
just,
right now,
I just
yeah,
dealt with
what?
something very similar at Club
Yeah.
Fitness, and I won't go into it because I will go into it for
That's
20
the gym.
minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, very similar.
Uh-huh.
I was trying to cancel, and they were like, well, looks like you got 2 accounts here. We don't know how this happened. And I was like, how have you been
Yeah.
making payments on both? Anyway.
Yeah. Point being, it's good to deal with a person.
Yeah, I wanted to bring up something though, like the whole personal training thing. You're absolutely right. I think people are going to find out that they give more of themselves to, like, because I know I'm finding that out by going to you for the short period of time that I've been going to you, but I give more of myself during that session in that 25, 30 minutes. And
Accountability.
Yeah, and
By the way, it's not just 25, 30, but that's when we really lock it in.
Yeah, but when you're in a class or something and you know the teacher's probably watching somewhere else or something,
Right.
like, you know, people slack off and they're not seeing those results. It's those couple reps. So anyway,
No, I dig.
I always stroke your ego a little bit too much.
I call it
on
simple
this.
physics. Like, that's what I always say. You know, it's just simply, it's going to come back. It's a very easy thing. The more you put in, the more you're going to get out. So
Can I go in mom mode for a second again?
hit it, Mom.
Okay. So the three of you, another reason I dig the podcast, the show, is you guys know each other through and through. There is no bullshit. You couldn't even if you tried.
Oh, yeah.
You couldn't if you tried. And that's what I have in my life with my besties, you know, with the people that you can't hide who you are. And you're going to call each other out. You're going to support each other, but you're going to call each other out on every chance you get too. I've heard that both of those things go on. So
Absolutely.
That's not everybody has that.
Are you gonna do Sober October with us?
Maybe.
Hey, listen. The thing is,
Who's gonna
It's-
drink first, me or my mom?
yeah. It's not so strict that you can't drink. Just know that when you do, you'll be donating some money to a good cause of your choice even. You know what I'm saying? So,
And
yeah.
so-
it's just like, say,
It's a very good
okay,
spin.
you drink on a Saturday night during October, throw
I've
a
got
20
one
spot to the
wedding
charity.
reception that I'm worried about.
And honestly, that has basically
And
been
a
all
lot
of
of
the
friends
pushback.
that I'm worried about.
That's been all the pushback, though, is,
Yeah.
is weddings. So I've got like 3 weddings on the calendar in October. So literally 3 of my weekends are already basically accounted
Are
for.
you 3 doing it?
And
Yeah.
I just, But
I love
I
a
know,
challenge.
I
All
know
my
that I'm gonna
friends
be.
know I love a challenge.
I know that I'm gonna be at least $60 out to the charity of my
Man,
choice
that's
because, well,
It's
you know,
20
That's
bucks?
weak.
20 bucks a night?
$20 a time you drink, yeah,
Oh,
yeah, you know
100
what I'm
bucks,
saying?
easy.
Yeah. See, so set aside 5 days and then
There
you wake
go.
up and your hangover won't hurt so bad because you know you did it for a good cause.
Right.
You
I was
know,
about to
that's
ask
the ticket.
Alan if he was looking forward to it, but he's been sober for like 100 days now.
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's getting
No,
weird.
not 100 days.
I
like
mean, pretty
hours.
much, dude.
something days
Seems like
or something.
100
I
to
don't
me,
know.
but I'm drunk all the time. So who knows?
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it because I feel like I just went through so much end of summer stuff.
Yeah.
We went to the lake. We hung at the condo for a weekend. We went to Kansas City for a wedding. I went to a winery this weekend. Like, I'm ready to just.
And see.
And I'm going to Florida in November. But go ahead.
Well, that's okay. You can do
What
whatever
part?
you want in November.
No, I mean, it gets me ready for.
I feel
Drinking is
like
my
this is a
downfall.
good
Yeah.
time. Kind of, my year's winding down a little bit. Everything's kind of hitting a lull as hard as I've been working. I just kind of reevaluate, knock out 31 workouts, 31 days. I hate the cold weather, so this will be a nice transition for me. Just kind of reevaluate myself and make sure that I'm ready for the beginning of next year. 'Cause
My last couple morning bike rides have been tough.
Frigid.
It's been pretty cold.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, everybody
that
keeps
takes some
saying,
acclimating.
everybody keeps saying they're waiting for this year to be over. Well, guess what?
Yeah, here
It's
it
coming.
is.
It's almost over. Like,
Mhm.
are you
Fourth
just-
quarter's here.
You just
Yep.
gonna start January 1st, or are you gonna start?
Yeah,
October
you might
for-
as well get ahead of
pick one.
steam.
You know,
Exactly.
So it's a workout a day?
So,
October?
that's the goal.
yes and no. I mean,
Yes.
just being physically active.
I
For
think that-
those,
I don't
it
think that's too
depends
much
on
to
where
ask.
you're at. I mean,
Does my stand-up desk count?
No.
if you do some squats, perhaps.
Yeah, body weight squats.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I like to tell everybody I've kind of broken it down to a science for myself. So
Tell.
I like to stay 60 to 80% of my max heart rate range, sustain that for like 15 minutes plus, and for me, that seems to trigger my brain to get into the right mode. So maybe that sets off my endorphins. I don't really know the whole science
How are
behind
you
it,
measuring
but
that?
I just do it on my watch.
Apple Watch.
Yeah.
I need to get one of those.
Yeah, so I just look at my beats per minute and I know my max heart rate, and then it actually will tell me, it just tells me my average, and I just make sure that's in 60 to 80%. And I do that with a lot of my clients as well, and I seem to get some pretty solid feedback for when they leave.
That's
you know,
for an hour, 60 to 80%.
No, like I said, we usually go hard for about 25 to 35 minutes, depending on the workout, and then we do a little warm
what
up,
percentage
pre-exhaustion.
Is that 80% plus?
Yeah,
never
so the
measured my
whole
heart
thing
rate.
behind that is you only want to be really in the 60-80% of your max heart rate for the majority of your workout, because if you're working over 80%, then you're just being more detrimental than beneficial to yourself. So that's why I started measuring it, especially for my more beginner level clients. But then over time, for myself particularly, I just started realizing because that became a part of my morning routine to do like a 10 to 15 minute HIIT workout, because I like to spike my heart rate and then let it drop, spike it, let it drop.
What's detrimental?
That's
Is it
good
because
fat
you
burning.
don't bounce back, you can't do it again the next day?
That one, and two, if you're not conditioned enough, then you're basically going to be deteriorating your muscles, and then you're not going to be repairing them as efficiently, so your muscle's not going to grow back. And I mean, everybody's looking for results, right? So and then two, right? So that's also why, so you burn fat more efficiently when you're doing lower level cardio, but you burn it more effectively when you do higher level cardio, because you burn through the carbs. So I like to do a little wombo combo of both. Like if we're going to take the baby and the dog for a walk or something, I always tell Hannah, let's get in a quick HIIT, because I equate it to like driving your car in traffic. You're going to burn your fuel the most when you're hitting on the gas, hitting on the brake, hitting on the gas, right? So that's basically how our bodies work too. So you spike your heart rate, let it drop for a second, spike it, and then you're burning your calories the most efficiently, or least efficiently, however you want to look at it, but you're burning the most fat. So
this is a good transition into Sober October, because what we were talking about before the show is maybe having you film 4 to 16. I don't know how you want to.
We'll say 4 a week. So 16 altogether.
16 altogether.
And the biggest thing there is that
workouts.
was going to be my point, because I have clients who get hot right off the bat and want to start coming a couple more days a week, and I'm like, look, obviously financially that would incentivize me, but I can tell you that that's just a quicker way to get burnt out right off the bat. So if we have people do 4 of my workouts, if they're actually going to follow along and they do 4 of those a week, they'll need those other 3 days to recover. So I mean, a light walk, get outside, do whatever.
In the recovery.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. So in the dojo, we're actually just breaking you down the whole time.
So what does this look like for 2 or 3 sessions if you're doing every other week in October?
Water.
Without Budweiser, yeah?
Water.
Yeah?
Or O'Doul's.
G2? Yeah.
Or O'Doul's, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah,
You know,
probably just water. I never
If we're
understood
trying
the
to be
NA
cool
stuff.
enough,
Yeah.
I'll bust out some O'Doul's to
Yeah,
be cool.
yeah, I mean-
you know?
Amber.
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 Is it?
Yeah.
Amber, yeah. Is that the other one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, O'Doul's Amber, yeah.
And
Yeah, that's for
they
like,
haven't, do they have a,
that's for the
that-
hip
that's a thing?
hipsters.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Like you're talking like the little orange red can?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
That's for the hippest
How do you
hipsters.
know?
You know what I'm saying? Well,
we go pick
You know,
some
a
up on the
little
way
bit of
home.
everything.
I dabble. Check out the
Yeah.
mustache. You know what I'm saying?
Something else that I dig about you 3 is my undergrad's in wellness and health promotion. When wellness was a brand new concept, like mind-body connection was not a thing
Which
until
baffles
the 80s.
me. Yeah.
And preventive health wasn't anything. You fixed it once it was broken.
Right.
To take care of yourself was not really a thing. You did whatever you wanted to do, and then if you got sick, you went to a doctor and
Got a
it was-
pill.
got
And
a
they
pill,
addressed the
got a pill,
symptoms.
That's the
you got-
craziest thing to me.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So the fact that it's just incorporated into the fiber of this and your beings is the coolest.
Yeah.
It's like I've stopped drinking caffeine because I just recently read how that can like set your anxiety off, and I've started
and you're the
correlating.
son of Tommy D.
Yeah, right. Literally,
Shout out
exactly.
Tommy D.
Yes. What's up? We'll see if Tommy D listens. But yeah, and that's
Spoiler alert.
2-part.
Yeah.
Tommy D's got to own that though.
That's 2-part, yes, because that dude consumes more cups of coffee than probably any other human. Right.
Really?
So, dude. I
I
gotta
do
tell
too.
you, at one
I would've
point I
figured he
wasn't
ran
gonna
pretty
do
hot naturally.
insurance just
Oh,
because
yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember the smell of the insurance office when he took me in there, and it was just like coffee, and then all of the assistants smoked cigarettes, and it was just, it smelled like these people
bowling
are
alley?
just trying to stimulate themselves so hard to get through a day. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, who needs all of these?
Sucking a whole pack of cigarettes.
Yeah, just to make it through like an 8-hour workday that you're working like 4 hours of. So.
Oh my gosh.
But no, and then just like I started thinking about like, okay, I wake up every morning, I make sure the first thing I do is hop right into my routine, because that'll trigger my brain to be more productive, maximize my productivity. And then I started realizing, okay, I get a little bit jittery right after my first cup of coffee, and that's when I kind of start to like go south brain wise, like
That's when you
like
know you're
my
ready to work, dude. I don't know
yeah,
what
but
you're
then my
talking about.
attention gets diverted like 6 different ways. So like the past 4 days, it has honestly been much more difficult than I anticipated. But I've hit a stage every day where I'm in the morning and I'm like, well, do you want to feel a little bit more anxious and get some energy, or just work through this, be more calm, and have to build up that energy naturally? And I can definitely see, I can already see the benefits, and I can certainly see how it gives you anxiety. And it's like one of those things. It's just built in, again, and not in a good way. It's built into the fiber of our society. Like it's just. I always talk about the sugar cartels and how like there's just sugar. There's just sugar in everything for no reason. Like our children's food has like 12, 13 grams of added sugar, and it's like, why? So that baby appreciates the taste more?
I used to make baby food.
Yeah, so do we. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And that's
And
because...
But this was 25 years ago.
Yeah, you were way ahead of the curve. But it makes perfect sense. Look at where we are. See? But the other part of that is caffeine is the same exact thing. It's
So
a
is
drug
nicotine.
that's accepted, right, by everyone. Yeah, so are booze. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Speaking of, you guys ready for a beer? Yeah, Mom. Corey.
Are we going to do this
Am I the only one? You
chug
guys gonna
off?
do a chug off?
Yeah, we're doing the chug
There's
off.
some cups in back.
Shitting me?
Yeah, we're doing it. We got to.
I mean...
Do you
If we're
have
gonna do
any
it, it's gotta
idea
be out of
how
the
much?
can,
so
right?
you're gonna get a whole lot of people watching if
He's got
Mom
some
does a
cups.
chug off.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what we want.
I think the title of this podcast is going to be
So
Mick's Mom Does
Hey,
a Chug
before,
Off.
Before
So-
we break to chug
oh
off.
my god,
So
this is
let's
hysterical.
let's put this on record so I actually do it. If we go to your house and you record a handful of body workouts,
Yes.
we'll post them on Facebook.
Which I've
pretty
already
much.
started an Excel sheet, by the way, so we're ahead of
I'll
the curve
film them
there.
for you. We'll drop them on Facebook like every other day through October. Do them or don't if it helps somebody. How we're going to tie in money, charity donations to it, we'll
We'll
figure
see.
that out.
Then I'll
you
get a
know.
man bikini, and we can record all of those for my
That's
OnlyFans
okay.
page. You know what I'm
We
saying?
can leave that out.
Does that have to happen?
Man, that only you're dying to
If it's
start
for a
one
good
of those.
cause, you know what I'm saying? If it's for a good cause,
I have heard you say
will.
that so
I'll do
many
it.
times.
Well, I've been asked a couple times. People inquire. You know what I'm saying? Makes sense. So while Mick goes and gets that, yeah, go ahead, fill us in, Mom.
Well, first of all, I don't remember challenging you to this.
I don't remember being challenged.
I don't
think this is
recall.
all
I think
fabricated
Mick's
by
lying.
Mick. Yeah.
Was this hair of the Dogtown though? Because everybody was kind of in a rare form.
That's
Good point.
That is very fair.
Very good point.
Yeah.
And I've challenged a lot of people in that state. You know.
Yeah.
So, where
so,
I'll wake up in the morning and be like, I don't know why I did that.
Mm-hmm.
So so this was a party.
Also, I am no good at chugging, so this is a lose-lose for me. I'm just going to lose to you right now. So
Stand
usually,
in line, Cor.
I say go in confident, but yeah, I mean, just take me out to the pasture.
So I didn't
you know?
realize. So my girlfriends in college used to create this opportunity for Kelly D to, you have time D. I was Kelly D.
Right.
Still am Kelly D.
Yeah.
Create
To-
the opportunity to chug.
to
Never
kind of,
challenge
yeah.
anybody. Didn't have to. They always did.
Mm-hmm.
So never lost. But I always said.
I like hearing that.
But I
You're
always said.
undefeated.
Incentive.
I'm undefeated. So, but I always
Did you
said
ever
if I were-
challenge Mr. Bowman?
look like I don't think so.
You know, Steve's got a lot of these stories about Mr. B.
You know,
might
so it's been.
we might have to work something out for charity
It's
here.
been probably 10 years since I've done this.
Okay, a little rust. All right,
Yeah.
fair enough.
So maybe you can.
I gotta
Pete,
tell you.
Do you know what
Maybe
I'm
you compete then.
hearing from both sides?
Do tell.
A lot of excuses. All right? I'm done with this shit. All right.
Says the guy
Come on.
who's on
He's
his 75
silver.
medium. over
75
here.
Okay.
song.
But the point of my story is, I always said, is if I look like I can do this, I'm done.
Oh.
So if I
Okay.
look like, oh, that chick can chug,
Right.
no more.
Dunzo.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
over.
yeah. Okay, that's fair.
Right?
Yeah.
So
I
you
get
gotta
where
be
you're coming
unassuming.
from.
You gotta be
Exactly.
unassuming.
I dig
Yeah,
that.
okay.
I dig
Okay.
that.
Under promise, over deliver.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the name of the game, really. I mean, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Set the expectations low. That's why I'm over here shit talking myself
So
right now.
then I learned.
I might be the underdog.
in
you know?
conversation with my family after I was an adult that my brother used to do this little game, and so did my father, but didn't know that.
So
bet
it's
you all did it.
hereditary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that must have been where the Donovan clan split, because we are not known chuggers. Maybe with
So-
whiskey, but
So, yeah. Been a couple years. I did win in Cabo. I went on a cruise ship.
I mean that's pretty legendary.
listen.
That's like the all-star version.
We got a
you know?
world.
I mean,
what
you're
she's
in
saying
Cabo,
right now
you know?
is she's a world champion.
Yeah, I get
What
it.
she's saying right now is she has
Worldwide,
no
wide.
shame, and
Also, for the Donovan clan split, just for reference,
Uh-huh.
there's probably a lot of people out there that don't know that Mick's. So what is it? It's your dad,
my dad.
brother,
You gotta speak
and
into the mic.
What are you
the
asking
Tom
me?
Donovan trilogy.
Oh, the
that's
Tom Donovan
just-
trilogy is my nephew, my brother, and my father.
Right, and that's my grandpa, my dad,
Yes.
and my brother, and totally unrelated as far as
Yeah.
we know.
Yeah.
But we're
Yeah.
we're certain we're related. That's why Mick and I are cousins.
That's right.
Yeah.
100%.
In there somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So this is what
Just
we're
had to
gonna do.
get that out
Colin's
there.
gonna count down. He's gonna give
boy.
you a 3, 2, 1, and then we're gonna switch on to some wins and some other news.
Oh boy.
Okay.
All Ready?
We go up, down, up. You know the.
Now what do we do?
You know the etiquette, right?
I do not.
You gotta cheers it,
Cheers it.
set it back down, and then you come up.
Oh, cheers it. Set it down. Come up.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Well.
You want to run through it one time?
Colin's
Yeah,
gonna
so
count it
It's
out.
like rock, paper,
Down.
scissors. You know what I'm saying? Bing,
Rock,
bow,
paper,
boom.
scissors.
Yep. Exactly. Yep.
Okay.
Hit it.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, Mom.
Oh! Mom! Woo!
Now don't puke. Don't puke.
She did not enjoy that for the
me tell you,
folks
hands
listening
up.
at home.
Scared me. You were so noisy.
Hands up. That wasn't me. That was him. Yeah, he was gonna make me. Yeah. He almost made me hurl. I know. Oh, good stuff, Mom. That was you. That was all you.
You won.
As long as you didn't spill any. You didn't spill any, did you?
Now
All
she
right,
did.
then. That's you. I even got 2 chains. Got a drop on them.
That's not the
It's
only
one of
one.
my favorite shirts.
That's not the
So
only
it's been 10 years. It's been 10 years.
You know.
Woo!
We'll
But
try again in another 10
I'm gonna
years.
say yeah.
Did we just awaken
Yeah.
an animal or what?
possibly.
We're gonna catch
Yeah.
your mom at Pepper's doing challenging people at the bar.
I'm blaming that loss on
Mowing 'em
Millie.
down.
I say Millie, you're welcome. Dad lost a
So
step
we
there.
got a lot of housekeeping. We got a lot of wins. Colin and I have been working on Wii Golf. We're gonna try and lock that in November 15th. Now, I just couldn't turn it around by the end of this month. It's already the end of the month. I think people have figured that out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no.
Basically, we have some cornerstone gift baskets. We got Waterway coupons, pizza. We got
Waterway?
alcohol.
Waterway came through.
Waterway comes through.
We got all kinds of stuff.
usually do.
T-shirts.
Yeah.
They
That's
usually
gonna
do.
come
They
your
like to do that
house.
stuff.
So we're gonna start selling tickets to that soon. Wii's are basically procured, from what I understand.
Can you feel it?
You all right over there, buddy?
I'm good.
You
I'm
good?
all right. I mean, Mom told me to burp, so I burp. You know.
So we got Wii's coming. We're gonna be able to put together a little event,
There it is.
probably
There it is.
raise about $1,000, maybe a little bit more for Buddy Fund. It's gonna be good. One great idea we had. I'm gonna put together some sort of booklet, like an event planner. Since we're not gonna be there, we're gonna probably start selling. Well, not probably. We're going to start selling holes. So you can sponsor a hole. We're gonna hit some local businesses. $5 a hole. I think that's
nothing.
reasonable, right? To
Yeah.
be in, you know.
So
we'll have-
how's that gonna go? You want to give the people a little
I don't
insight
know. I'm just
there?
gonna hit up everybody I know.
No, I mean, like, how's the sponsorship gonna work? I mean, obviously, there's not
they'll
a
be in
real
my
hole
pamphlet.
to.
So I'm gonna make.
Okay.
I'm gonna spend
That's
some
what's
time
up.
and make some nice booklets.
I'm telling you,
made
we're
my
gonna
own business
spearhead a
cards
whole new
today.
niche
They're
here.
pretty
I'm
cool.
just.
I'm excited about that. But yeah, so I'm getting better with the technical stuff like that. So Wii Golf coming middle of November. I like that because probably the next day on my birthday we'll cut a fat check to Buddy Fun.
Oh,
Cool.
That'd be awesome. You know what a cool birthday,
And
right?
then
Let's
again,
make it a
also,
goal.
this is basically going to take the place of Hair of the Dogtown, right? I mean, have we decided
is
that
it gonna
officially?
take the place?
Was that last November?
I guess we'll figure that out.
So-
Yeah, so usually we do it the Saturday. Well, not you know, last year was the first year,
First year,
but we liked the concept of doing it the Saturday following Thanksgiving because everybody was already grouped up. You know, the people that were going to be home for that were already home, and then everybody we figures since you're home, you're gonna probably go out that Saturday and have a few. So why not do it for a good cause? So that was the whole concept. But this year, with everything going on, I don't know though, because everybody's gonna be home for Thanksgiving still. So
We'll see. I don't know. I have no idea what the rules are. Like
I would think we might have to just concentrate it to one spot.
one bar.
Yeah, more
See
than
if
an
we can
actual
try out the
crawl.
bar or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. But
I'm
still,
gonna-
we could do
Yeah.
games, fundraise. That's all right
I'm
down
gonna
our
put that
alley.
on Colin's plate if he wants to try and set that up again. Oh, you mad at me, buddy?
No.
I can't.
We just haven't talked about it.
Well, and here's the thing, and that's kind of why I'm glad you brought that up. Is so we've been back and forth on the can we encourage people to gather?
Which I'm gonna just get right on out there and say yes. I mean, you just have to know.
If
You
you're
have to be aware of who you're going to come into contact with afterwards, and if you are vulnerable or going to expose somebody who's vulnerable. I mean, I have a terminally ill mother, so let's just put it right out there. I've been navigating this field the whole time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at some point, you just have to say like, we got to get back to some sense of
It's-
normalcy here.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the common excuse that I hear. But realistically, what it comes down to, as long as we're in national and state compliance, or not even us, if the bar can stay in compliance, the liability is shifted to them.
Mhm.
We will certainly help anyone who wants to put something together, but it's on to them to stay in compliance in the state. Whether we're supposed to live our lives, we can't be shut up forever. I don't
Well,
really
you just
care.
wear a mask. That's what all that's about.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it.
It's limiting the liability
the
right
state's
there.
going to give us a hard line in the sand, and as long as we don't cross that line, I think we're going to be in good shape.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the reason I like that is because Jeff Shipman called me, and it sounds like Recess is kind of ready to get back to business. So they're opening up 2 locations. We went over that. We've been chatting with Recess for a long time now about putting together a Books for Kids event. I'm supposed to meet him this week. It's kind of hilarious. I have like 4 people I have to meet for drinks this week. They better not push till next week. Or I'm gonna be,
Or October.
You're gonna be,
SOS.
yeah,
That's
October,
next week.
exactly.
Next week,
You're
that's
gonna be
right.
bucking up, boy.
So I'm gonna go meet with Jeff. You guys are invited whenever.
That will also be the perfect place to concentrate an event, because they have everything under one roof.
They have everything under one roof, and also it's a brand new place. So Jeff might kill me for saying this, and he gets a shout out in like every episode. But I'm wondering if it's going to be a brand new space, if we could just rent it out. It would probably be easier to just limit it to us. Recess did not need our help last year. They were selling their max capacity was 300. They were selling that every night. You had to wait in line just to get in. It was the hottest bar in St. Louis. Now, as they're opening up, I have to wonder if maybe on a Sunday fun day or something like that.
They might make more money if we rent it.
They would
And new
at
exposure
least-
for a new venue.
They
Let's
would
not
at
forget
least
this is
be able to measure
mutually beneficial for everyone.
how much they're going to get. It's a new venue, exactly. Yeah, so I think it's almost a better environment for us to throw them an event now than it was when we were talking to them at the beginning of the year. We've talked about it before. These restaurants and bars need help just as much as any other charity.
So you want to do something this year?
I don't know. I haven't talked to Jeff yet. I'm going to link up with him this week. But if their capacity's 300 and legally they can have half capacity, that's still 150 tickets. So if 150 able-bodied people want to show up, I think that'd be a great event.
Yeah.
Well, the
I'm
good
with
thing
that.
about here, the Dogtown, is we did it last year, so we kind of know we have a better map, but we still need to meet on it.
How many
then.
did you
Yeah,
have in
for
here
surely.
at Dogtown?
I don't. How many? What was our final number?
We sold like 160 tickets and just over 100 showed.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Because
I thought we
feel like
sold
we had
200,
like 200 plus.
and it was more like 160 showed.
yeah,
But I'm not positive.
Nope, you made that up.
fair enough.
Could have. I do that a lot. Yeah. Well, then we're gonna need to order T-shirts, wristbands, figure out what we're gonna do for payment processing. Do we want to do the same thing that we used last time?
That's fine, yeah. I really haven't pushed on that one because I just assumed that we weren't going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
It's such a tough call. I'm not a lawyer.
Well, again, we might as well capitalize where we can. So
I'll
if it
call
works
Lauren.
out for everybody
Lauren
else
will know.
involved,
That's her job.
I mean, dude, bars and everything are open, so I don't understand. I get your apprehension there, but again, it just is what it is.
And really, they were still able to have
People
their
who want to
regular
come, nobody's
customers
being
whenever
forced to come, so I don't.
Yeah, just to stay with capacity and other things,
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You still have to plan like
I don't
life's
wanna
going to
be
be kind of
malicious.
normal.
Yeah.
exactly.
You do. You have
Yes.
to plan to be optimistic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
And then what
it's
what
going
it
to
is,
have
it
to
is.
be
All right.
eventually. I won't.
Well-
don't get me on my tirade there.
Yeah, I
but if
hear
they
there's
don't
a
bring my
post-COVID.
buffets back,
Ooh.
I'm close. We couldn't get a buffet on Saturday, and I was like, "What's gonna happen? All these places are gonna close, dude.
Mm-hmm.
What? Like, I mean, you just can't go right now.
I
What
went
is
to get
that?
our
You know
golf
me and my
shirts made.
buffets.
I do.
I mean,
I know.
dude, that's my.
Between you and
I
food.
went to get our golf shirts
God.
made, Corey. We were talking about where to go, and I went to the guy that I've gone to on Watson. They shut down
See?
in June.
Yes.
Oh.
And Hannah's
That's sad.
great uncle, he's who my connection is for everything, and I just made a huge bulk order to him for the same exact reason. I needed to make an order anyways, but I also figured now was as good a time as any, and it's the same type of concept with ordering. I mean, we could make half of the proceeds from ordering the shirts just straight up go back to the shirt manufacturer, because this guy, he makes a bunch of his money. If I won't speak to statistics, but he makes a lot of it on summer programs and all of the sporting events and all of the teams getting their jerseys made, and nobody did any of that this year. And that's for those
Yeah.
small little businesses, that's just crippling. They already have such a slim profit margin. So I mean, I'm surprised that the places that are standing honestly still are, because it's like across the board it's just been paralyzing. So I think that's another way that we spearhead it going forward. Like, yo, come on, let's get back to it. It kind of baffles me. I won't go on my soapbox here, but the whole bar concept baffles me. Like, if you're willingly going to a place where you're going to compromise your immune system, I don't understand what is the mix up about going there. If you're nobody's holding your gun to a head,
If
a
you're
gun to your head
ordering
to
a
go
drink,
to a
that's
bar.
kind of your waiver. Because you have to.
And what are
take
you
the
wearing a
off the drink.
mask for when you're going to take it down to drink that alcoholic beverage and probably go smoke a cigarette out back? I mean, again, it's just my 2 cents on the issue, but if we're going to do something that's also going to be a good cause, I don't really see any pushback from anybody that we're going to be appealing to.
Do we have a mom moment coming?
Well, I was also overthinking it when
Just
I
see it in my
said.
eyes.
Yeah, I could see in my peripheral.
I was also overthinking it when I said that they weren't going to have a Patty's Day parade last year a week beforehand, and lo and behold, that's exactly what
I think
happened.
as long as we stay in compliance, don't try and justify anything. These are just the rules. As long as we can raise money within those.
No,
rules.
I know. That's what I'm getting at. Is like I don't.
Is what
Yeah,
it is.
I don't have any
None-
apprehension.
none of us
And then don't go
understand
near your mom for a couple weeks.
Yeah, well, that's mom's orders. She doesn't give a shit about all that. So I guess I probably shouldn't say that on air. But
she does not.
All
no,
right, well,
she just went to a spa
I'll
last
hit up
weekend.
Lauren.
so.
I'll hit
Nice.
up Lauren, but we do
Gotta
need to
live
decide
life.
if
Well,
we're
yeah.
gonna
What are
do
you
that.
gonna do?
See what Lauren wants to do.
What do you guys want to do before I hit
I
her
just assumed we weren't going to do it, but
I'm down to do it,
Wii
are?
Golf is
and
not
I'm
gonna
down to
take the
honestly
place.
support. I would throw again. I would throw a little chunk of the change towards my guy who makes the T-shirts because we know he's hurting. You know what I'm saying? And he's helped us out in the past. He basically makes us shirt at cost. So
We could just, instead of doing a stumble, just be in a controlled environment too.
well, that's what I'm saying. That's why recess would be perfect because we could basically make a mini stumble inside of recess.
Yeah.
You could just, they have all the different little games to play
I don't know
and
what
stuff.
Recess's timeline is.
Yeah,
but
I
Lauren,
shouldn't-
Lauren could come up. We could throw something together quickly. 50 tickets, 50 shirts, raise some money, in and out.
And my other concept was doing the Wii Golf thing basically at a place, and I called it like a Hoosier version of wherever the place out is that we hit. Where we're talking about hitting the
Top
golf
golf?
balls last week. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we just made little bays and everybody had their own Wii set up
Yeah.
inside the bar, and then we would be doing our social distancing and all of that fun stuff.
You'd almost have to rent
that
a
again.
gym.
Or what if we set up Wii's at the
That's what that was.
different bars
Is that
so
what
they
that
spend
was?
money
Yeah, that's what
everywhere
that
else?
was.
Now you're overthinking it.
Yeah.
No, but really, November
You gotta
5th.
much
plan.
room for
I mean,
error.
plan and then
I mean,
their laws are
the,
laws. Like
the
Mick said.
yeah, of course, but the original
Ordinances.
Wii golf thing that we were talking about doing is if it goes off without a hitch, being
When it goes off
satellite
without a hitch.
when it goes.
Ah.
That's my girl. That's my girl. When it goes off without a hitch, your words are your reality. Then that's people doing it all around everywhere. So we concentrate that, and then we just have that much more, ability to do whatever we want. Then we could do some bowling, do some whatever. We could mix up the games. Yeah, we could just make it a whole thing. I think we got a lot going, a lot of potential with the Wii's. Certainly.
Yeah, now that we got him.
Yeah. Well, they're coming in.
You got any wins?
Same as last week. Same ones as last week.
killing it like always?
No, just still working on a couple good accounts. So busy.
We got anything?
Yeah, just trucking right along.
Nothing new? Either one of you?
No, I got a few things. I got,
Life
like
is good.
I said earlier, I got one more person for sure. This is actually somebody who I send my workouts and video tutorials to, who stays up in Chicago. Shouts out Freshman, aka Brian Herr, who will be joining us this weekend for the Denny Fay Memorial Tournament and also Pedal the Cause. So again, the exact premise of Sons of St. Louis. I had one of our buddies come down just to join us for a bunch of fundraising adventures. But he has now had access. I started sending him all this stuff, and he basically just gave me a shot, God love him, and said, I appreciate your grind when everything first started popping off with COVID back in March. And he said, my gym's closed, so if you just want to send me some workouts and whatever else, then we can, work out a system there. And now his gym's back open, and he said, I'd rather stick with you because you hold me more accountable.
Huge win.
He's back down to his high school weight, and I quote on that one, so he hasn't yet, ever been there since the senior year of high school, I believe. And he said he's still dropping, and after this weekend, he'll certainly be below that after 18 holes of golf and then 40 miles at least for Pedal the Cause. And then I got him a bike for that as well, so that's also a win. And then on the insurance end, like I said, I literally had 2 clients last week. One switched from a direct line, and the other had so much trouble with the company that they were with that the guy told me.
Oh, those were last week.
Yeah.
Happens all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I always say if I get at least one day when I slang a policy while I'm training a client, that's a W, and that was when all of that happened. So yeah, that was Some weeks like last week, I have times where I'm like, oh man, I put so much on my plate. Is it all worth it? And then I realized that when you ask yourself that question, that's how you know it's worth it, because you're working hard enough.
Yeah.
You know what I realized the other day? I kind of overbooked myself the other day, and I think it's just because I'm so used to people not following through with what they say they're going to do. Have you ever noticed that? Where you're like, I know I'm going to handle my business, but I don't know if all these people are going to return calls, emails,
Right.
whatever. And I think I got backed up just because everybody
else did their job.
did their job too.
I
You know,
feel
I'm like,
that.
oh, I'm
I
not
feel
used to
that.
this.
Yep.
I'm a little behind. Do you guys get offended when clients don't text you back?
Yeah.
Do
It
you
hurts
take
my
it
feelings.
over?
Yeah, it hurts my feelings a little bit.
You guys have both seen how I text, so no, I don't.
And I think I do, because nobody else that like it, but it does strike a chord with me, because if I don't respond, then I just feel like I'm held to it. You know?
That's the business you're in, kid.
I know, but it doesn't. Hey, it still hurts my.
just
I
feel
say
like-
honestly. I say honestly,
I
it
get it.
hurts my feelings,
I
get
had
it.
a couple people,
and I don't know why.
I had one person just kind of fall off the cliff for no reason in the house that he wanted sold, and I'm like, I know he's going to be upset about this, but we could have controlled this. And you responded to my poking and prodding. And then I had even a guy today who wanted to go see a house in 20 minutes, and I told him, you know what, can't do it. Taking my mom to dinner after my radio show. What about 8:30? I offered to show him a house at 8:30 tonight. I started work at 8:30. Nothing. So that's why we opened a beer, because I don't think he's going to call, but it's like, you tell these people no, and then you don't hear back. You're like, dude, come on. You know I'm grinding over here, man.
It's a double-edged sword for sure, but I think over time you start to, let those roll off the back a little bit more, like you did everything you could on your end. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's always going to be tough. I think it's always tough.
Yeah,
You when you do, because we do, if we're not getting paid to do that, like we are, but like if that doesn't go through or something doesn't go according to plan, you don't see that.
People
like you
don't
would see it
understand
on
your sacrifice.
Yeah.
I feel that.
I
for
can't
sure.
do my job unless you text me back.
But
that's,
that's
case in
also
point, you know?
Right.
that's you that just like you said, that's the business we're in. So.
Pretty
You
much.
want to hear my win?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
You're next.
Can I mom out for a second?
Oh
Well,
yeah.
let's get to your first win.
No.
Congratulations.
So you guys like dispel the millennial bullshit myth.
That
every
is our
day.
goal.
Right?
I thank Tommy D for that
Right?
100% on
Do
our
you?
end.
Nice.
I mean,
nice. Well,
we
Yeah.
always tell the story about how parents still to this day talk about how he used to make us run wind sprints after we would win games if we didn't play well enough. So
but Mick's dad was always there running with you.
exactly
He
my
was,
point. Yeah, no,
100%.
yeah, well, yeah, just
Yeah.
that. Yeah, not
Yeah.
not solely on Tommy D, but that whole
Yeah, but
parent
it was
mind
it
frame was
yeah,
one
it's
of the
like,
last
do it. It's
generations.
Like there's consequence
Yeah.
and the whole bit. So yeah, you dispel that. You've got integrity. You call each other out. You hold each other accountable. And my girlfriends have kids that are doing the same thing. So I've got more millennials that dispel the myth than reinforce the stereotype.
Yeah.
And right here is just it listens to you, fills my soul, and I might have to come watch when somebody else is the guest for the nights because it's just the coolest thing.
Oh, we might
is it
have
cool?
to just have you on as a
Yeah.
Is it
little
cool to see how
honorary
you've
host.
aligned yourself with people who are also ended up just being great parents?
That wasn't an accident.
Yeah.
That doesn't. Yeah, I mean, there's
Doesn't happen by
doesn't
accident,
happen
yeah.
by accident. No, you surround yourself with people that have similar goals and integrity and
Principles that guide you through
principles.
life.
Right.
It's that energy.
And we make mistakes and we cry about it. And we celebrate successes and commiserate and
But what happens when you make a mistake?
each
You
other up.
face up, right? You own it.
accountability.
Exactly.
Right. Well, sometimes unless you can not, but
Yeah, if you can weasel away, I feel you. But most of
I'm
the
still a
time,
Donovan, yeah.
most
But you
of the time,
skate under
yeah,
the radar
exactly.
enough, like it.
Yeah.
You can just skate under the radar right into a dull life.
But I mean, the fact that you guys want a mom here with you, that's pretty
Yeah.
Damn
cool.
right.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
We
Yeah.
wanna shine a light for
100%.
sure.
So, yeah, it's
Well, I wanted to bring a dad on and Steve Bowman. I've always.
Well,
kinda
shit.
just
Why
had-
don't we have Tommy D and Steve Bowman on the same time?
Tommy D
and
is
then we'll
coming,
get
I'm
Steve
coming with
Glass,
ya.
yeah, and then we'll bring Mom back.
Glass?
Yeah, we need to get a bigger table here, Tweezy. What do you think?
Yeah.
Can we do it?
Eight around the
Extender.
table.
A couple more extensions, yeah.
Hey,
This thing just folds out.
we've got a little bit of time, Corey. Do you want to tell the story when your dad made you run wind sprints during a soccer game while you were playing goalie?
Please
Sure.
do.
Yeah. So I think The only thing that we're not sure on here
Or
is if
can
my
I tell it and you can?
Yeah.
Oh,
you
do
can
that, do
Yeah.
you
that, do
can.
that, do that,
I'll
do
just
that,
give
do
you.
that.
Somebody brought
You
up
just
the other
fill
day.
in
I
your
was just at
perspective.
Emo's house and somebody brought up that my arm was broken, which I think is correct because that's why I was
Isn't it
playing
a wrist?
goalie.
Yeah.
You know,
So they put
semantics.
you in
Something was
goalie.
broken around here.
They
It was
put you
always
in goalie
something.
because
It was
your
always
It
something.
was always something.
appendage was broken.
Yeah.
We were playing a not great team. We were in really good shape. We weren't that good of a team. We just ran a lot.
Yeah,
All
no,
did
we
was
just
run.
out-conditioned everyone.
Out-conditioned.
Yes.
So
Thank you, Tommy D.
Thank you, Tommy D. Our
The-
practices were, what, literally
Just
wind
running.
sprints
Uphill.
and a scrimmage for
kick
like
the
the
ball to
last
the
20
corner,
minutes. Yeah.
Cross it.
Fastest kid gets it,
Fastest
and then
kid
other
gets it.
fastest kid runs
Yep.
into the box
He
and
dumbed down
scores.
soccer pretty well.
Yeah.
Now,
He
you
knew
guys
what
had
he was
some
doing.
pretty good talent on your team.
We did, but it was definitely magnified
Steve
by the
McEnany
approach.
alone was
You know what's funny, though?
He was fun to watch.
Steve Glass was just telling me how much he prided himself on how worse he was at soccer and how he always had more goals because he followed what Tommy D said, which was run to the center of the
Oh, yeah.
box.
Mick finished that, but Tommy D on the sidelines kicking the soccer ball like in virtual mode was fun to watch.
Oh, yeah.
He was
Oh, I
playing
bet that
soccer
was
He
on the
couldn't
side,
get
up
out
and
of
down
it.
the field.
Yeah, he couldn't get out of it. Yeah.
So,
All right, yeah,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. Sorry.
So Corey's in goal, and I don't know how long this was going on, but the ball basically didn't cross midfield for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
So it started with Corey leaning against the goalpost and eventually sitting down.
And
Bad
resting
move.
my eyes
Which,
against the goalpost.
which his father didn't appreciate.
No, but let's interject
So-
real quick, too. Jim Malley, supposed to be my god brother, his parents are my godparents, starts laughing and says, "Everybody look at Corey." And that's what really pissed Tommy
That's
D
where
off.
I was going. So
Yes.
now the whole team is...
And his face was the color of my mic.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
So he says, "You to the corner until I say stop." So
To the
Corey's
corner and
running,
back, yeah.
But now the whole team is no longer playing soccer. They're all watching Corey run. And I
Yeah.
think you had taped up your arm like.
I put a shin
a
guard on it.
Michelin Man?
Yeah, I put
yeah.
a shin guard on each side.
So now we're playing real deal soccer, and the ball's coming towards the goal a lot, but you're not allowed to stop running. You just have to keep running
No.
and goaltend at the same time, and then if they score a
And
goal,
if they scored, I probably would have just been
it's,
punished more.
it's
Like
your
Pac-Man.
fault.
Like, you know,
Yeah, bink,
I
back
don't
and
know.
forth, exactly.
I'm not certain when the running actually stopped. I think
I
maybe
am,
he just pulled you out.
No, because they got a shot on goal, and I saved it because I was like, if I don't save this ball, I am truly fucked. So I sprinted back from the flag because somebody yelled, and I was sprinting back, and it was like a shot that somebody took right in the middle of the net, but I had to jump and save it, and then I saved it with that butchered arm, and I think that hurt me afterwards because I landed on it all funky because I had to dive to save a ball that was hit right in the middle of the net. And then, yeah, Tommy D pulled me out after that. But, yeah,
Well,
that's
You grew
That's
as a person that day.
that's the gist of that story, yeah. And then just one more to follow is another time that we actually did win a soccer tournament, and Tommy D wasn't happy with our performance, so we had to run hills
Even though you
afterwards.
won?
Yeah. And the other team's parents were appalled, to say the like. I still hear from kids whose parents were from kids who played on that team because they remember their parents being so upset.
Tommy D never shied away from appalling anybody.
No, yeah, he absolutely didn't care, and that's what I appreciate.
If anything, he
it's
would
right
double
there on
down
the
if he
hat.
found out.
No fucks given,
Well, and
folks.
for the
I
people
understand
that
it
don't
completely
know,
now.
He was a professional soccer player. It wasn't just like
I guess
some
in
guy
a sense,
yelling at us.
yeah. I guess in a
He
sense,
played a little pro.
back in his day, whatever that was considered. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, he was elite, and
He got a check to play soccer.
he was elite because he worked his ass off. So that's all he ever appreciated. Which to this day, I talk to him all the time about retiring, and he's like, "What the hell are you talking about? Dude? I'm
No,
gonna
dude,
work
they
till I
retire.
keel over."
No.
Oh yeah. Huh? What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, and unfortunately, I have that, so I have to don't get me in that mode, or I can't snap back out. That's a Donovan thing.
Where you wake up half
Yeah,
agitated
and my
already.
jaw's stuck like this.
I can tell by the way you text.
Yeah. Yep.
You
yep.
just get real short and
Mm-hmm.
everything. You gotta like bash me for everything, you know.
Yeah.
Hurt my feelings a little bit.
And it pisses me off
Not
that.
text back. 'Cause
Yeah,
it
not
hurts
text
Collins.
back,
And there's
yeah.
no
Or
nuance in
over
text,
text,
so I
yeah.
have to make sure that I lay it on thick. You know
Oh,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like, does he know that I'm pissed off right now? let me give it to him
So,
a couple
Mick, you got a
times.
grinner behind you. He's shaking his head.
Tweezy runs the
He
show.
appreciates it.
Shout out to Tweezy for being flexible with us last
Yes.
week.
Yeah,
We
every
had some
week.
stuff
It's
going on
always
with
much
Moms. We're
appreciated.
doing back-to-back shows. We're gonna drop this one this week, and then we got 2 weeks. I don't know who we're gonna have on. Maybe Jeff Shipman, potentially. See
I
what
mean,
he
you
wants
drop
to
his
talk
name
about.
enough, yeah.
We're
Show
gonna
the
have Jeff,
people.
his GM. We've talked about his GM, Zach, I believe was his name. He's got an underdog story. We'll have them on. Kayleen Archer just got hired at my job. My mom did her resume. So she edited the resume, sent it into Remax.
Kayleen
Made her
Jaybirds,
look as good as
Kayleen?
she
Yeah.
was.
Oh,
as she is.
snap.
Yeah, so not only
Look
did
at
she get a
that,
new
birds of a
job-
feather.
I know.
And Jay Krause just hit me up for a dojo session.
There you go.
Shouts out Progress. What's
Yeah,
up?
that's what this whole thing is about, is capitalizing on connections. But so
Yes.
Kay got the
Yeah.
job. That's a big win for me and for my mom since she did the resume.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and then Kay's starting a charity.
And
which we talked
maximizing
about.
Sweet.
everyone's potential. That's what
So
it's really
we'll have,
about.
We'll have Kay on, and then had an open house the other day. Met a gal with some mutual friends. She does a nonprofit to teach kids how to wrestle. So I'm gonna have to look into that. Before we
Sick.
have her on.
Yes.
But yeah, she sounds like a clear.
Mick
cut
was a
guest.
hell of a
Yes.
wrestler.
Like
she
that.
gets it. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like a good sounds like a good guest that we'll have on. But I'll connect with somebody in the next couple weeks. We'll bring them on. I just did.
Do you still have your singlet?
No, they don't let you buy those.
That's weak.
Man.
We're going to have to get you
I
one.
did
You're
my
welcome.
friend.
I
I did
I
my
wanna
friend
see it.
Raina's show on Saturday, so that was cool to come in. She had somebody on that was she does tenant rights.
Ooh,
So her
might need to
goal-
speak with her.
Well, her goal ultimately is to she helps a lot of people as long as they're willing to help her help them. If that
Yeah.
makes sense. She said something like that you need to notice the difference between those who need help and those who won't help themselves.
Absolutely.
And that's who she helps. But we're gonna get together, and her main goal is to someday turn these people into homeowners. So that's
Yeah,
been
hell
pretty
yeah.
cool. It's just like a plant that little seed and go on the show, chat with some people.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna have an event here at Overtime Studio. I think it's the 10th and the 11th. Tweezy, help me out on that one. Yep. 10th and 11th. So yeah, was happy to go on that show. I think that we need to do a better job of getting to know the people over here, because this whole studio is just filled with hustlers.
Well,
Everybody's
yeah.
got like two
Again,
jobs.
birds of a feather, you know?
Exactly, yes. This is a good place for us to be. I think they're going to try and put together another paintball outing, which you guys missed last time. But boy,
And
that
here's
was a
the thing.
party.
This place embodies, again, just one of the mantras of Sons of St. Louis, which is, if you're not doing your best to make everyone else around you better, then you're not going to better yourself. It's just that simple. So
Positive energy.
the better that people are around you, the better that you're going to be. So you're incentivized to be selfless. And really, that is selfish.
And
That's
I
what
think
I
the
always
important
say.
thing is, too, if you do want to talk about this studio, is work with what you got. I mean, they're making the best of this entire space. We've got, if you want to have a party on one side, record.
Straight
have a
up.
party in the back. You can do it all.
I come in
over
on
here.
Wednesdays and Justin's always got his baby in here.
Which
yeah,
is
well,
awesome.
his babies grew up
Always
in the booth.
just
Shout out to
chilling.
Justin.
Yeah.
Right on the
He
chair.
hasn't been in on his day off lately, man. He's only working 6 days a week. That's not very overtime of him.
Probably only like 18 hours a day, too. That's weak. Yeah.
Right. Shout out to Tweezy behind
doesn't
me
have
with the
to.
3
Yeah,
jobs.
shouts out to everybody. Yeah, that's true. Holding down the fort back there.
Well, that's about it, guys. We're gonna catch up with Jeff. We got Wii Progress.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna make that
Hashtag
happen.
PRGS. Cheap plug.
Yep. Sober October. I'm gonna help you film some stuff. We'll just drop that every other day.
Mm-hmm.
Can I
Shout-
say one more thing?
Please.
So, shout out, John Haberberger.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
As a result of
yeah.
this show,
Shout out Johnny Hayes.
Helps you out?
Shout
they
it
need
loud.
At least one other person.
Oh,
and
yes. That's
unbelievable.
exactly
So,
what
yeah,
it's all about.
So it's
He's
Hell
the man.
yeah.
positive energy breeds positive. I want to deal with somebody like that who's
Yeah.
who's in.
Tell 'em the rate you
Yeah.
got.
So you saw the
Tell 'em
affiliation?
the rate.
So I could have done 2.25 at 15. I'm doing 30 at 2.675.
2675.
He's
Down
so
from
good
4.5.
to deal with,
Down
though.
from
Is-
4.5.
Was he
Nice.
not just?
Oh,
Yeah.
he said God love you a number of times. You know,
Yeah.
just yeah.
He,
So
and
Good
he
people.
keeps you in the loop too. So I mean, he's a great.
no,
he's a great
amazing. I had
long-term-
I had no qualms. I had no doubts.
If I don't find anybody in 2 weeks, we'll pull Jeff on, or Jeff. We'll pull John on. Excuse me.
He's a good honorary
He
host
is,
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll do this again in a couple weeks. We got a lot of progress. We just got to follow the Instagram, follow the Facebook. We don't have a Twitter, I don't think, unless you made one.
Mm-mm. A lot of you got to sift through
Nah.
enough on the socials. You know what I'm
Exactly,
saying?
yeah.
Twitter's a lot
So
of
be
sifting.
On
right?
Be on the lookout for workouts coming.
Yeah.
If you want to donate, do it. We're gonna figure out a way for people to do it. I
Yeah.
don't know where it's
More
going,
importantly,
why it's going.
it may just be a, like I was saying earlier, it may just be some sort of like a
On your honor.
yeah, an honor system, but also just the the charity of your choosing, and then just holler at us, and we would love to give you a shout out and say who you donated to,
Sure.
and more importantly why you donated when you botched your sober October, and then give you a little
So
shout
do I
out
get
on
to
the wall of
choose?
shame as
Is
well.
that what it is?
Maybe we don't know
Yeah,
what we're doing.
I would say I would
Shame.
what
I know wall of shame.
well
if you
wall of
donate.
shame for not completing your sober October, but it's a good wall of shame because you're going to be donating for a good cause, so yeah.
It's all
Nice
I'm gonna
backpedal.
It's all
contemplate it.
good.
We
Yeah.
gotta
Yeah.
wrap
Nah,
this
it's the
up.
backhand, you know what I'm saying? It's
We
the
got another
backhand.
show walking in. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Maybe with a guest, maybe just us.
Freestyles are always good too.
Yeah, I like having a guest. Contact details are going to be in the description. What else am I missing? Is that it, boys?
I think we're good.
Cheers.
Do it. Shout out to my
Cheers.
mom for
Cheers.
coming through.
Thank you so much, Mama. This was amazing. I mean, they're honestly getting better every time. So this is
They really are.
It's very
Thank
fun.
you for
Surprises
coming
of
on.
the podcast.
Both.
Ah.
Yeah, it's a little A, a little B,
What'd you think?
You guys are unbelievable. Honestly, I am your biggest fan. There's nobody bigger.
I mean,
you
I gotta
famous?
tell you,